Hello, friends and family. Welcome to day 46, cycle 3, day 3 of my quest to battle aggressive diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, stage 4, ICD code C like Charlie 83.39, using the R-EPOCH immunotherapy chemotherapy treatment. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Let's get into status. The nausea was a bit more today, but managed with food, regular eating. Didn't have any mouth pain. I'm up a kilo over my highest in the range. So, let me see. So a total of 4 kilos since day 1. So 45 days ago, a month and a half. I'm up 4 kilos. My fluid intake was 82 ounces by mouth and 14 ounces by IV, which brings me to about 96 ounces or 2.8 liters. I just calculated my out. My out was 2.7 liters. So that's pretty good because you do lose some cc's by sweat and other bodily functions. Mostly sweat and breathing, respiration. Some people tell me up to 500. I haven't really seen that, but 100 doesn't seem all that ridiculous to me. And if you have like some good sweating, then, obviously you can go higher. But some people say you can lose up to 500 cc's overnight. That's why your weight's lower in the morning, even if you don't go to the bathroom, from breathing and from sweating. Go figure. Okay, so that's my eating situation. Chemotherapy symptoms. So I already told you about nausea, mouth pain, weight gain. Neuropathy, I'm feeling it, but not so bad right at the moment. Hair loss, yes. I'm noticing actually that this brow is much less than it was even yesterday. I don't know. Nose clots still, yes. No real night sweats last night, so that was a relief. No headache. Fatigue was kind of I don't know if that's me or the chemo and everything. And then red skin. I don't know if you guys can see it today, but I am getting that red skin. And that's a reaction to one of the chemotherapies. I looked that up. My sleep was 7 hours and 1 minute, which was not great. And I actually had a long spell overnight where I wasn't sleeping. Like I wrote it down. Hang on. From 3:25 to 6:15. So I downloaded a book from on my Kindle, and I read an entire book in that time frame. But it was with blue light, the blue light blocker was on my phone, in addition to like a black background with antique text. It wasn't even white. The text wasn't white. It was like an antique color. I don't know how to describe that. So I did try to at least have it in a methodology that wouldn't keep me awake, but I was just awake. My vitals were fine. Then from a doctor news perspective, the nurse came today and we're working a plan for tomorrow. As far as I know, she'll be here around lunchtime, 12:30 I think we're up to right now for this bag change. But we are getting a whole lot of snow, so it was much ado and it was about something. I looked out the window before. I think we're at least at 5 or 6 inches, but I might be off. I didn't, could be 4. I'll say 4 to 6 inches. It was significant. From what I'm understanding, then it's going to be more Monday night, tomorrow night into Tuesday. Unfortunately, that's the day I have to drive to the center to finish up my chemo. So we'll see how that rides. So overall, today, from a mental health perspective, Noodle, Headspace, etc., it was really a struggle for me to get going today. I'm definitely feeling the poison a little more than I was in the days prior. So but not a negative day, just kind of a Did a lot of You'll see in my to-do list and my to-do list. So my quote for today is, "The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. Don't give up." By Robert II. I thought that was pretty appropriate for just how my day went. I mean, it also was, to be fair, a Sunday where I didn't get a good sleep the night before, and a Sunday with very bad weather. Like rainy, snowy. I mean, it was snowy today, so the kind of day where I typically might even have just curled up in bed and relax because it's so quiet because the snow is encompassing the roof and all that stuff. But that is not what happened today. Today I tried to get up and get going. I did sleep pretty late. I think I didn't get out of bed till 11ish, and the nurse was coming at 12:20 or so. So because I was up until 6, I tried to go back to sleep, obviously. All right, so that's all I have for that. Let's talk about my to-do list. I did sleep in, as I just mentioned. I set up my new notes, so let me show you what I'm doing here. I'll do a quickie. Let's see. Oops, sorry about the camera moving, because I had this. This is a whiteboard page, and I have, this is a magnet, so I can magnetize it to the tripod, so it's right underneath. I'm still looking down, but hopefully I'm not looking way down. And then this piece of paper, I wrote all my notes on. I don't know if you guys can see that. In the color. And then the black whiteboard marker I'm using for today's notes. And then I have 10 of these sleeves, so I can just pull this paper out and do the next sleeve. And then that will help me with my week summary. It'll all be right in one place. So I think that'll be a good, good methodology. And it's light enough that I can hang it right here and I can kind of glance down without looking at my notebook constantly. So that felt pretty good too, as far as a good fit. So that I did set up the new notebook area. And I don't know if you noticed, it's a little difficult because I just flashed at you, but this is a Rocketbook page, so it's the same as my notebook. I can still scan it and send it up to the cloud if I choose to do that. Just so I have a record, beyond holding on to the sleeve for a week. So I did that today, so that was an accomplishment. I finally worked on my red hat. I'm on the edge about if the brim is long enough. So here we go. Here's my new red hat. It is a true red. It looks a little orange on camera, but it is, it's like it's a robo red, a cherry red. These are robotics colors. Look at that. Okay, so Bill's feedback was he didn't know if it was long enough to have, like my brim go up. Like I've been wearing a lot of brims up like this. I'm not sure, it might be. What do you guys think? As far as my red goes, I'm almost out of red. The little bit of red I have left is actually up in the hat in case I want to do something with it. But, if I need to make it longer, I might have to go with the black. Or maybe I can mix black and red together in like some kind of striping pattern. But give me some feedback. What do you think? Is it good the way it is? I mean, it makes a fine bucket hat, I think. But if you want to do anything a little fancier with it, is the brim long enough? That's the question. And I could certainly do some kind of flower or butterfly or something, that could go in the band with the combination of the red that I have left or all black. All these are ideas. So I finally got this off my list. And I like red because I feel like it gives me my face some color, particularly as my white count goes down and I get paler and paler. I did the initial family draft, the initial draft of the family to-do list. So like a daily to-do list I mentioned yesterday. And I still want, which might need some tweaking, but it's a work in progress, obviously. Shared the document with all the collaborators in my family, in my home. And probably need to do a few more, like specifically Sunday or weekend to-dos and Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday to-dos. Or I'll combine them because the days the recycling goes out or the garbage goes out and those kinds of things. So, there might be some specialized stuff that I need to do there, but I feel pretty accomplished there. My week summary, this week in summary, which we talked about a couple times, I collected the data and updated on the spreadsheet. I'm about 60% done, maybe even 70, collecting all the data, but I have to give some thought to how to deliver it. Like, is this just like sharing graphs with me doing a little voiceover and maybe some clips from some of the quotes, or like what, I have to figure out how to deliver the week summary, and like, so I'm working on that. I did work on that today. I think I went from about 25% to 60 or 70% of the data compiled. So I felt that was an accomplishment. And that is about all that I accomplished today. Oh, I did one more thing, but I don't remember. I guess we could, nope. I think we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. I was able to pull down the labs that they did on Friday. And overall, it was okay. There were some concerning things, which I think I'll share with you tomorrow. Not concerning. Everything was basically within normal, but some things were starting to trend up, which gave me some reason for concern, but I can certainly bring them up at the doctor's office as needed. So what do we got? What's left? So I mentioned, so on my to-do list, I have do the summary, like compile the video and get it out to you guys. But there is a note here. I need to figure out what it looks like, how it works, and so forth. So I haven't worked on cycle 1 or cycle 2 compilation, but I'm hoping that this weekly summary will help me come up with the format, and then I'll be able to jump into those compilations. Family to-do list, which I checked off my list from yesterday. And then recording my Bill's dialysis. So every day we do dialysis every night here, and we kind of split. I used to do all the dialysis administration, but since I've been sick, at the very beginning, Bill didn't want me lifting because of the spleen issues and other things that, the bags are heavy. They're 6 liters a bag. So they're, what is that? 12, 13.2 pounds-ish. And we use 3 bags, and then we use a 2-liter bag, and, and so forth and so on. So right away, as soon as I got my diagnosis, or we knew, I guess I shouldn't say diagnosis, as soon as we knew I was sick, we knew that I was sick and had spleen issues, he started having the boys, whenever they were present, do all the bags. And he even tried to do the bags himself most of the time. So I don't move the bags. Sometimes I set up. So in any case, one of the tasks that I took on when I got home from the hospital is recording the dialysis daily, because that helps us understand, is it working, if there's any concerns or issues, and we have to do that daily. So I have like a Google form that goes into a Google spreadsheet, but since I've been home from the hospital, I guess that's not true. In the last 2 weeks or so, I haven't been using the Google form. I was just writing it into my notebook to get it done quicker. And I've run out of space, my designated 2 weeks of space, and I need to transcribe that into the Google form or straight into the spreadsheet, one or the other. So that's on my to-do list. What else do I have? So angel deliveries. We got some angel deliveries today. Today we got some fruit. I think we got strawberries cut up and blueberries separate, because I can't eat strawberries. And we got tasty subs. And we got some groceries, a few necessary groceries we weren't able to get earlier in the week before the snow came. So we got a special delivery, earlier this morning. The snow did come today. It came earlier than we expected. I was thinking it was going to start at 6 or 7. I'm going to say it was flurrying by before noon. I'm not sure how much before noon, because I think I think 10:30 to 11, and it must have been 11. It wasn't flurrying then, but by noon it was flurrying. So we got the snow started much sooner than expected, but from what I understand, again, as I mentioned earlier, the worst snow, it's like 2 storms colliding. The worst snow is going to be tomorrow night into the next day, Monday into Tuesday, but we'll deal with that as we get there. So I just, again, even on my days when I'm not all hyped up and happy and enthusiastic, I'm still fighting. I have to acknowledge, and I want to be real with you guys and acknowledge that every day isn't a great day. This day was okay. I accomplished some stuff. I did sit on the couch a lot, and maybe that was just my body. I don't know if that was the lack of sleep the night before, or the broken sleep, or if that's just my body with the chemicals. I'm on day 3. I'm just trying to think it out. So I had Friday to Saturday was 24, 48, right? So I'm into, 60 hours or so of the continuous infusion. It's a very slow drip, I've mentioned before. It's only 17 and a half mLs per hour, cc's per hour, but it's still constantly going in you, You hear the pump, it's almost like a breast pump. But you get that sound. And today was one of those days when I heard the sound and I'd be like, ooh, that makes me want to throw up. They're poisoning me. So definitely feeling it more today, I'll say. But, got to muscle through and get to tomorrow. And this is part of the battle, right? Get through every day. So again, I want to thank you all, as usual, for your love and support, prayers and mojo, powering me up and lifting me on these days when I don't have a lot of my own oomph. I remember all that power and love that you're sending my way. So thank you so much. We love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it. Even these yucky ones, you gotta live them, right?